Hello, hello. Same Dragonfly channel, same Dragonfly game. We're going to be talking about the... Yeah, okay, good sound. Okay. I was very worried for a second that there wasn't any sound, but you're watching The Swamp. Welcome to Dragonfly's Lounge, and we're going to talk about the best video game ever, Guilty Gear Xrd. So this time, the docket is going to be Omito playing Johnny on the player 1 side, and Haaken playing Soul on the player 2 side. Now, for anybody who's gotten into Xrd in recent years, Haaken is probably going to be a rare treat for you, because he's a former Potemkin player. Back in the XX games, he played Potemkin, and Potemkin is bad in Xrd, but he's also just not very fun, I think. And he's, how to put it, he's very one-dimensional, and that's kind of why he's bad. It's not just an issue of him having like bad matchups or like bad damage or whatever. No, 34%. It's barely audible anyway. So Haaken takes a Potemkin player approach where he's very patient and he waits for you to make a mistake, and he just tries to find his opening as safely as possible. Only he's playing like essentially the upgraded version of Potemkin in Xrd. And that's really cool. Vitz asks, I hope the Soul player DPs on pressure. Yes, Haaken, I was previewing this a little bit to see what the final score would end up looking like and what the nuance of the game would be like. You're going to see at least one really, really cool DP from Haaken early on in the game. This is from... What exact date was this? So this was January 6th of 2018. A date which is distressingly near to being 8 years ago, but I'm not going to think about that. So this is from a slightly different session than the Mikado Arcade broadcast. And in order to appreciate the matchup, we'll go over the version differences. So this is Haaken over on the left here. He's the cool guy. You can tell he's a cool guy because he's got a huge popped collar. And Omito, the best to ever do it, it looks like a schlub who just walked in off the train or something. Vismund, did Haaken switch immediately? I remember Sign Soul being good. I don't know. I only know him basically from this and from events I saw him play in after this. I have to imagine that he would have, if he's an XX enthusiast and he played plus R, he probably would have gotten a taste of Xrd Potemkin and probably just spat it out immediately and switched to the better Potemkin. It's sort of a Daniel and the cooler Daniel kind of case. Anyway, I was talking about version differences between current version Soul and current version Johnny. Soul is fundamentally the same character in Rev 2.1, the current version. In this version of the game, he does not have Run Flame, which is basically when he does Gunflame during the very early frames of his dash. In the current version, he sort of slides forward. It gets magnified, or the speed gets magnified. In this version of the game, he doesn't have that, so if he wants to do Pokey with Gunflame, it's a little bit more predictable. I've mentioned it before, Johnny is also fundamentally the same character. He's actually a little less broken in the version of the game that you're watching now. In the current version of the game, he has easy access to... well, there were 3 significant changes that gives him easy access to a sadly a much less interesting game plan. In Rev 2.1, they made the unblockable from Mistfinder scale with Mistfinder level, so it's harder or impossible to mash out of. They made him able to release Mistfinder and do the slash while he's in the dash and Mistfinder stance. And they made it, they slightly changed the property on comboing the first hit of Zweihander. That's actually not a big deal because everybody's figured out new routes. But the Mistfinder stuff does make it more restrictive for him to manage meter in the older version of the game. This is early 2017, right? No, it's early 2018. The previous games we were watching from like Christmas 2017. Vismund, FAB was such a Chad sticking to pot. Yeah, Yeah, I have much respect for FAB. Honestly, I kind of wish he hadn't, because then Pot might have actually gotten like buffed in Xrd instead of getting like just like the tiniest buffs imaginable. Anyway, we're showing off some fan art, and you're gonna see some fan art here because people love Omito because he plays Johnny, and Johnny is the coolest character ever. But people also love Haaken because Haaken is the kind of guy who has such personal charisma and is just has such animal magnetism that he can spend all of his free time at a fucking arcade chain smoking cigarettes and inhaling ash. And he has not just a girlfriend, but he has multiple fangirls. I think you'll probably see them in the audience as we get ready for the set, but man. This is Rev 2.0? Yes, the version of the game that they're playing on is Rev 2.0. So, in Rev 2.0, Soul got a new 6H. There were intentions to give more new moves to more characters, but Rev 2.0's development was, or Rev 2's development was cut short. So it didn't quite work out that way. It was only like it was actually like a nerf to a couple of characters. It was sort of a stealth nerf, I think. The Soul's previous 6H functioned mostly the same way, but it was huge. And so they toned it down a little bit into his new 6H, which is the little, they called it like a tombstone drop, where he like shoves his sword into the ground. Kai is similar, actually. I think his new 6H is actually worse than the old one. And I think Bedman's new 6H is worse than the old one. It definitely is, actually. So Johnny was already nerfed, but not how he would be in 2.1, right? Yeah, so Johnny was introduced in Revelator, and he was super broken, and they nerfed him a little bit in Revelator, and then they like nerfed him more in Rev 2.0, and then they buffed him in 2.1 because they're just crazy people. Alright. Oh, that's another thing. Haaken likes to play the mental game a lot. So... Jeez, alright, okay, Haaken. Putting your whole fucking back into this, okay? He likes to play the mental game, so you're gonna see him run down the timer on the character select screen for a while. Just because he does not want his opponent to be warm. Guzman, Arxis balance philosophy is a riot. Yeah, it's... Having been in the Street Fighter 6 trenches for a couple of years now, I can definitely understand why people prefer the Capcom balance philosophy. However, I am still an Arc System Works guy at heart, so I kind of crave the bullshit that Arc System Works will give me. So, as for the so I mentioned how the characters are different from this version of the game to the current version. As far as the matchup goes, I think at higher levels it's actually like a little even. Johnny has like 6-4 matchups most of the time, but I think against Soul he's actually like close to 5-5, or it's like only a 6.5 to 5.5. You can see Haaken just hovering out of range, waiting for Omito to push a button like Far Slash, and he's just waiting there with Fafnir. Oh, delay close slash on Meaty just to catch the backdash. That wasn't even an OS or anything, he just did it. Yeah. So fun thing about Fafnir, it actually scales damage fairly aggressively. Oh, yeah. That's like the standard Guilty Gear mix. Yeah. And this is like Haaken, like, to me, embodies the style of Soul that I call, like, Control Soul. Or, like, not even, like, Footsie Soul necessarily, but just, like, neutral monster Soul. Where you just use Soul's really good movement and, like, objectively broken normals, and you just try to, like, hyper-fixate on a particular distance. Like, you can see he's doing there, right? And he never moves through that distance towards Johnny unless he's doing Fafnir or instant air dashing. And you can see he's so cold that he's able to have his guard bar cranked and escape the corner. Here's a beautiful little thing. I promised one crazy DP in the early games. Here's a crazy DP. He gets a hit with 5H, goes into 2D. Omito probably thinks that he can burst on a combo, because the sensible thing to do would be 2D into Bandit Revolver, or 2D nothing and set up Gunflame Oki. So Omito times his burst, I think expecting to burst on the Bandit Revolver, and Haaken does HDP as a read, because it works as a combo filler, like as a combo ender, and it has enough invincibility on it to go through the burst. So Haaken basically gives up, like, not amazing Oki in exchange for completely taking Omito's burst. And then he just sends Bandit Bringer. This is the fucking thing about Soul, is that he can play, like, smart for, like, a minute straight, and then he just sends Bandit Bringer, and you feel like an idiot. Sort of a weird RRC from Omito. And there's the DP, Vince, I hope you're happy. Fucking remembering why Soul is a good character. Ooh, that was definitely an OS. Hang on, look at this. So he does the combo here, and this is something that I don't do enough. But he does the jump in, and he does jump H as a meaty. I think he might even mistime it slightly, but then he does far S. And this is meant to catch backdash. So if Haaken, so I think Omito was intending to safe jump Volcanic Viper, and then catch backdash with far S active frames. But Haaken did something, or he did wake up Riot Stomp, which is evasive against an empty low. And unfortunately for him, he gets clipped. And Omito does not pick it up. It's so strange seeing Omito just, like, not combo people, or, like, ever drop combos, because I'm so unused to it. Here's the unblockable. This is the worst version of the unblockable. Yeah. I've always wanted to know if you can play any controller in those arcades. I don't think so. I think for Guilty Gear, they never got the machines to support, like, gamepads or other stuff. So you're playing on not only with an arcade stick, but also with an arcade button layout. Ooh, nice. I fucking love Soul's combos in this game. So this is the damage you eat off of an empty low. So I want to show you. So this is Omito getting counter hit, but he's getting counter hit by a low with a lot of scaling on it. So look at his life bar. His life bar is just above the first light on the HUD. And he gets picked up into a full dust loop here. He actually doesn't take a shit ton of damage, partially because he's Johnny. And this is another thing about Haaken. He is so good at optimizing. Like, look at this. And he knows he doesn't spend meter on Oki. He just does the mix-up, because he knows that if he does the mix-up plain, he has enough meter to dump 100 meter for supers and kill, and locking out burst. It's, like, the guy's a fucking clinic in how to play Soul. He's so fucking good. Oh my gosh, lots of chat messages. Vitz, I guess I can't play on those arcades then. Yeah, you'd be in the same boat as I would be. I mean, I've played on arcade stick before, and I mostly play with a vanilla layout, but I'm too used to having macros for Roman, Cancel, and Burst. I don't know why, but Omito must have been crying about the DPs thing? Crying on the inside, I think, yeah. Amogus 1. I love the name. Soul players always have some demon whispering to do dumb shit in their ear. It's true. The thing is, Soul's dumb shit is, like, not even that dumb. Like, Fafnir is a fucked up move. Bandit Bringer is a fucked up move. Bandit Revolver is, like, strike invincible on startup for, like, 3 frames for some unfathomable reason. At Shinjuku Sportsline, there's ports for pads, but there's only a few. I've only seen one person use them. Okay, cool. Yeah, so this is more like your more typical Johnny round, where it's like you just get put in Johnny jail in the corner. Okay, yeah. And it's like, this is... Soul players who play cold like this are fucking anathema to me. I am terrified of them. Because it's like, you take a guy who actually knows how to play footsies and you give him Soul's normals. How much delay do these machines have, I wonder? They have 6 frames of delay, which makes it even more impressive that anybody can ever play anything on them. Ah, that's a fucking soft read on the burst. And this is what you get for trying to burst on Soul. Nice fucking blitz, by the way. Wait, how is that a counter? Did he try to blitz back? Oh, he tried to throw. Okay, makes sense. Yeah, and this is the difference between Omito, or sorry, between Soul and Johnny. Soul has to like work for his damage, and he has to like convert off the hit. Nice dash DP. Johnny, because of the way Mistfinder allows him to poke and combo, he just does shit tons of damage on fucking everything. Kusuru ruined all Soul players to come. That guy was mad. The thing is, I wouldn't even say that Kusuru ruined them, because Kusuru did like good combos and stuff. Like, Kusuru looks like a fucking monkey if you ever look at him playing, but he does properly convert. 6 frames is insane. How does anyone react to anything? I don't know. You'd have to ask Mochi, the other godlike Soul player. And the reason, the real explanation, I think, is just practice. People practiced this game crazy hard back when it was being, back when it was the new game. Yeah, that was a delay mash. Haaken doing the optimal gunflame frame kill in order to make sure that that Rowan cancel does the least bad damage scaling. Look at this. So he gets the hit here. Small convert into a knockdown. That's Soul has Soul knockdown off of everything, which is nuts. But he does this, and Omito was doing delay mash 2p. Yeah, Soul goes under it. And he does gunflame to frame kill. And I think you can see he's connecting with Fafnir just as the screen is lighting up. Which means that these do nice big chunks of damage instead of getting squished down to minimum damage scaling. Pardon me, it snowed where I am and I had to spend like an hour shoveling it yesterday. So I might have the sniffles. I also might sound incredibly fat because I went to a holiday dinner last night and I had about probably like 2 or 3 straight pounds of mashed potatoes and gravy in addition to everything else, and man, I still haven't gotten it through my system. So I just feel like I have a bowling ball in my gut. Vitz, you actually make a good point about Soul being the main character, and I think that if you want to have a good time in a modern fighting game, in addition to picking a top tier and just going to whatever's best, you can also pick an inoffensive mid tier, or you can pick the protagonist, because the protagonist will never get nerfed. I also forgot, it's not that Haaken runs down the counter or the timer on the character select screen. Just for the hell of it, he runs it down to 69 every time. Yeah. Oh fuck, he dropped it. God. Anyway, we have 12 viewers apparently. Thank you very much for tuning in. I love to see all of you guys. I love it. Fuck, goddamn! I love how fucking fast and interesting the footsies game is in this. Sorry, I'm gonna go back. Round start, little bit of a block string from Johnny, and then it's just distance. Just imagine Fares projected in front of both of these guys, and they're both respecting it and moving out of range. Small hit, doesn't lead to anything. Instant block, and it's like finally like small hit into 2 interactions. And this is the problem with Johnny J. Oh no, it was an air hit and he was committing to Mistfinder low. Soul's dead here actually. That's my name. So, Risk, which informed the whole last, like, 15 seconds of that round, is probably one of my favorite fighting game mechanics ever. And the simple reason is, it discourages you from blocking, but it doesn't actually make you unable to block. There are a lot of games that have guard bars, like Melty Blood has one, KOF has one. Street Fighter 6 like kind of has one with Drive. It's like sort of a guard bar, sort of a risk thing. BlazBlue has Barrier, which is technically a manual decision, but something that you use all the time anyway. And the thing is, if you run out of guard bar, you just get guard broken. And so, what always seems to happen is that if you're like, something I see in old games a lot is that there's always a character who has at least one fucked up setup with a multi-hit projectile that does a like a 15-second block string into a guard crush into a full combo. Or you have like the modern KOF thing where it's very easy to chip away like 30 to 40% of your opponent's guard bar, but like that's it. And immediately after that, like you're both doing stuff again, which is like good, right? But I find it to be a little plain, you know, because it's like, it's a mechanic that's technically there, but I rarely ever see it come up on the rare occasions where I watch KOF anyway. Cool footsies until Johnny gets level 3. Yes, that's most of the things in this game are cool until Johnny gets level 3. Good lord. I wish Soul players would understand the fucking things that this button does. I wish they would appreciate it. Yeah. Yeah, you're dead, sorry. DNF, I don't know why. DNF Duel gave everyone the 15-second guard crush, and it was so funny to see. Hey, there's a reason why DNF Duel is one of 2 fighting games that I will tell people not to play. Oh god. Oh, that's a gut punch in your kneecaps. Nice blitz. Oh yeah, and there's another thing. Haaken has these. These are like, look at this, did no fucking damage. This is so funny. This combo is so funny. This is a character specific thing that only works on standing Johnny because he's tall and wide. And he specifically sets this up. This is his punish. And I think the reason he did it like this instead of doing like a bigger combo is that he went for the 2K because he wanted Omito to worry about, or he wanted to beat the immediate blitz back from Omito. Because traditionally, if you're immediately blitz backing after getting rejected, then you're going to do a standing blitz because it covers more stuff. So what we see with a lot of people is they'll do like 2K afterwards, just to make sure that even though they might get a worse combo if they're actually punishing you out of the rejected state, they're going to beat you at just mindlessly blitzing. And he does instant air dash jump P, 2H instant air dash jump P, and he fucking launches with jump D. And it does no damage, but he builds like a quarter of a bar just from doing that. And that's another fucking thing. You try to make some smart decision against Soul. Like, oh, I'm going to instant block, and then I'm going to think a lot about what I do after instant blocking. But no. Usman, what's the other one? Oh, the other fighting game that I tell people not to play is Skullgirls. You can type Skullgirls into your favorite fan art aggregator of choice, and you will get the entire Skullgirls experience that you need. Like, Skullgirls is a beautiful game, but like mechanically, it's got to be some of the worst fighting game design I've ever seen in my life. Amogus 1. Sorry, you made a good point about Melty Blood. Melty is smart about guard bars. They have EX guard, which is like instant block and faultless defense combined. It also recovers guard bars, so it's possible to block for a long time. Unless you're H-Moon, they don't have it. Yes, that is something that I find really interesting about Melty Blood. And if I weren't such a knucklehead, knuckle dragger, and I played Melty Blood more, I'd probably grow to appreciate that a lot more. What about Super Smash Bros. Brawl? That's a party game for children, not a fighting game. The creative Skullgirls didn't like Xrd, by the way. That does not entirely surprise me. It's a bit of a shame to hear about people having bad taste, but I'll put it out. Mike Z is a Potemkin player. And I think his opinions about fighting games are a little bit too informed by the notion that like broken things are okay as long as there is nominally some kind of limit on them, which I don't personally agree with. Nice 5K. I fucking hate that I'm cheering for Johnny 5K counter-poking someone. Yeah, Mike Z played pod. Of course he didn't like Xrd. See, Visman, do you understand it? You understand it. That's a beautiful little microcosm of how mix-ups work in this game. And I like this game because mix-ups are so frequent. And they're frequent and low reward. So Haaken gets a hit here, right? And he just goes for like a standard thing. And Omito tries to backdash it. He succeeds on backdashing it, but Haaken covers the backdash. So he's like targeting backdash. And then Omito's like, oh, well, that wasn't too bad. I'll just go for backdash again. And Haaken has already moved on to the next layer where he's doing air dash jump P to chase down backdash. And then he goes for empty low, but Omito's one step ahead of him and just jumps out. Now Omito's actually standing still. He tried to mash. You're dead. Sorry, pal. He didn't even need to spend meter, damn. Oh my god, 15 concurrent viewers. You were here for it. You were here when it happened. Whoever just tuned in, thanks. Okay, here's another beautiful thing about Oki in this game. So Haaken gets the hit here. I'm going to slow down. So he gets the hit here, and because of the timing and spacing, if he just stands still and does a meaty, the defender wins. This is the beauty of instant throws on Wake Up. So he specifically goes for something that is too delayed, or that is that is obviously going to lose to throw. And Omito still, he's so desperate just to escape the mix that he actually goes for Wake Up throw. And so Haaken intentionally did that. He's like, oh, I look like I'm going to make a fucking mistake. And Omito, who really should know better, just gets opened up by it and gets hit by the cross-up. I love that you can do this. Almost all of the mix-ups in this game are fuzzyable or have huge gaps in them like that. And it's almost always about like misdirecting people, which I think is a fundamental misconception about this game. Okay, this is gonna hit. No, it's not, sorry. But Johnny gets to be safe because he's Johnny. One thing I'm kind of surprised by... There's another frame kill, sorry. I'm not surprised by that. This is not intentional. This is obviously like not developer insight. But when Soul does throw RRC and he jumps and does Fafnir, it waits out the damage scaling window perfectly, so you get the slightly higher damage scaling for the rest of the combo. CIA 4U 401. There's over a dozen of us. Yeah, but that's a shame because the flight plan I filed with the agency lists me and my men, but only one of you. Fu Manchu, cool to catch one of these live. Thank you for being here, sir. I wonder if any of these players do respect just for the lulls at the end of a round like I do occasionally. I did that once. I once taunted somebody after the end of a round. It's a funny story, actually. It's It happened in the plus R net play lobby. And I mentally mind broke him, or I mentally guard broke him, because that I could tell he was really angry afterwards. And I, quite by happenstance, like 2 weeks later, I was looking at the channel of that guy, and he just sometimes uploads random plus R replays, and he uploaded that section of replays in addition to like 2 other sets he had played. And he made like this salty passive-aggressive video title with passive-aggressive description about like, well, of course everyone can tell what the bad matchups are. And I'm not going to stop playing my character, and it was really funny. I'll tell the whole story later. Amogus. Melty's cool, my fave fighting game, but its balance isn't the best like the Hitler characters. The Hitler characters are very oppressive unless you're just playing one of them. I love calling them Hitler characters. That's really good. And no, you're totally right. Like, Melty's cool, but like, goddamn, the balance is like super fucked up. Ooh. Okay. It is like, does this hit? No, jump P. Yeah, no, jump P. Fuck you. This like, people who do shit like this and just consistently convert off of everything are my fucking kryptonite. Like, I made that post recently talking about net play souls who just don't give a shit. But I'm also like astonishingly bad against people like this who just play compact like 90% of the time. Because I'm like really shit at playing compact like this. You can see Omito's feeling pressure. He just fucked up his Y-hander. Beautiful. There you go. JP being the god button. JP, my beloved. It's true. You know, it's funny. JP is such a good button that Woshige in doing the balance for Street Fighter 6 made an entire character top tier simply because JP is a button. Here's some really cool thing. Something really cool. Omito does the nerd burst here. You can do this on Volcanic Viper here and also more commonly on Sidewinder. Haaken, oh yeah, because Haaken dialed in the follow-up, because the follow-up kick, sorry, I'll show in slow motion. So when Soul does Volcanic Viper, he's usually doing the follow-up. For goodness sakes. Okay, it doesn't need to be this far back. He's usually doing the follow-up, and one of the things that the developers of this game did to make execution easier is they extended the buffer for, like, moves that are rekkas into each other. Okay. So Haaken, at this point, probably is already inputting 214K for the follow-up to come out to ensure the knockdown. So Omito intentionally bursts like this, and it whiffs Undersoul, because his Soul's hurtbox contorts fucking weird when he's up in that and doing that animation. And this means that he's in counter hit recovery, actually. So Omito gets this guaranteed crouching counter hit far S punish. Unfortunately for him, he's only at level 1 Mistfinder, so his combo is just buttoned into Mistfinder. But it is a guaranteed punish. And I love calling this, I love stuff like this, and I call it the nerd burst because you intentionally give up your burst to get a combo. And I think it's a really cool nuance to how bursts work in this game. Yeah, see, like, look how much fucking damage this RRC combo does. And it's like immediate, like, look at how much damage the fucking Bandit Bringer and the Fafnir and the Bandit Bringer and the Gun Flame and everything do. Like, it's so much fucking damage. And he's got an easy ass, like, auto-timed frame kill to wait out the damage scaling on the RC. Raven has one that's semi-consistent on one of his RCs. Like, orb combos tend to work like that, and Scratch RC stuff tends to work like that, but there's a bit of nuance to it that means it's, like, kind of finicky. I should also point out that Haaken is ahead 4 games to 1, which is kind of nuts. Like, you almost, like, you have to wonder, like, is Johnny just, like, is Johnny a dog in this matchup? Like, is this matchup just hard for him? Oh, man. It is so fucking cool to watch these combos. Like, this makes me feel better about the losses I was taking to Soul last night. I had a really shitty net play session last night. Omito's getting so frustrated now. He's almost as frustrated as I was. He's just mashing with normals on wake up. You don't do that in Guilty Gear. Plus R brings out the worst of people. You're correct, Amogus. I think, like, Plus R was a fun game to go on the journey of exploration with, but, like, these days, I don't know how people play that game unless they play, like, one of the, like, really broken characters, like Testament or Zappa or Dizzy or Piken. Or if they just really enjoy plus frames, like when they play Haas. Soul players are amazing at min-maxing patience or complete insanity. I'm more on the insanity side when I play Soul LMAO. Very true. Like, I try to play more of a fundamental Soul when I pick him up, because obviously I have a pocket Soul. Or if they really like doing Sidewinder combos. True. True. Sidewinder is a compelling reason to play plus R. My spicy opinion about plus R is that I actually think Sidewinder is a little lame. Not because of anything about the move, but just because of the combo theory it leads to. But that is an opinion for a different day. Okay, so this is why Johnny's broken. He's like double digit plus off of all of these H button cancels, by the way. Oh, he tried to time the nerd burst again, didn't quite work out. Nice. Yeah, how dare you. Oh, he actually took his Mistfinder too. This is huge. Nice dead angle. And the thing is, Johnny dead angle is objectively broken. But the hitbox uses his 6p hitbox, so it's actually quite high up, so Soul can like just randomly go under it. Mostly because of 2D. Well, I can't do Sidewinder combos for shit, so I don't play plus R much. Also, I prefer how Jam plays in Xrd. Yeah, this has been another bit of an issue with plus R, is that a lot of characters, especially like Jam, have like super degenerate force breaks that are just like better than anything else. Yeah, Aaron blockable, fuck you. And the cranked risk means that this does a lot of damage. Oh, he dropped it, that's fine. How dare you try to block against me? I'm Jonathan Guilty Gear. Yeah, I hear you, Visman. Going from plus R Slayer to Exit Slayer is rough. Both in terms of like the character being like better or weaker versus the character having like completely different combo theory. Oh, that almost looks like it was going to be another air unblockable. We finally found a button that can beat Johnny 5k and it's Soul 2D. Oh, nice. No, he dropped it. Nice air throw. Yeah, fuck you. This is something I really empathize with Omito on, because when you're the space control character, when you're the control character and your opponent is the beatdown, or if you're like the stable slow character and your opponent is like the fast squirrel character, pixie character, when you actually get the opportunity to do like pressure like this, you feel mental pressure, because it's like, okay, well, this is where I excel. I should be doing something. And if at any point during any of that Haaken had just been a little disrespectful and just like super jumped instant air dashed, or like super jump air dashed out, he probably would have been able to escape the corner, where he would have had to like force Omito to scramble with an air throw. Honest Mid Johnny does it again. That's correct. So it's funny, actually. One of the reasons why Johnny is not like super duper ultra broken in this game is because his primary mix-up is strike throw, and that is the weakest form of mix-up in this game. So it's like kind of funny how that works out. Omito has been dropping more than usual. Is Soul one of those characters with the fucked up hurt box? I don't think so. Soul, It often depends on like combo theory and stuff. I think because Johnny's moves are so big, they all hit Soul like pretty well. From my perspective, playing Raven, Soul is sometimes a little awkward to hit. Not a lot, though. I swear to God, like, people who play Soul, like, Haaken makes Gunflame look like the best projectile in any video game. And I mean, like, Gunflame's fucking stupid. Oh my God. Okay, yeah, you can tell Haaken's good at this game. If you are playing Soul and you don't want to deal with shit on Wake Up, you can do DP, and you can, so if your opponent just meaties you, then like whatever. But you can do Wake Up DP, and you can actually, well, the ideal thing to do would be to RRC it, as Haaken is attempting to do. But because of how the RRC system works, Omito is not in hit stun, or Johnny's not in hit stun, so therefore you can't red Roman cancel this. You can't yellow Roman cancel or purple Roman cancel DPs or invincible moves, except for supers pre-flash, but whatever. So he inputs a Roman cancel, and it doesn't work, and I think he like double tapped the input or something, because then he goes into Blitz. And this was obviously not intentional, and so the reason this happened is because I think he double tapped the input, and you can cancel into anything out of a clash. It would be safer just to do FD, or Roman cancel FD. But anyway, doing this at all is like sort of proof that Haaken knows what he's doing, and it just sort of works out. Like, we have like a little Guilty Gear moment where the game's just like trying to do like 4 things at once, and it just sort of works out weird. I was going to say, I thought that was intentional when I first went back to look at it, and I was going to say that Haaken's really smart for doing that on purpose, but sadly it was not quite working out like that. Oh man. The optimal combos. That's crazy. Brave mash from Omito. Something I've noticed a lot about these... Oh, nice single hit confirm. And he gets the combo off of this, because why the fuck not? Full dust loop off of it. Fuck yeah. Nice. That's something I really miss about fucking like old games compared to new games, is like comboing off of metered options. Like, especially in Street Fighter 6, it feels like everything you do to combo is just a drive gauge thing, or like an EX move. And comboing off of supers is really uncommon, which is a shame. Okay, whatever. He has level 3. He threw him out of his 5H startup. No, he dropped it. Okay, whatever, it's fine. Yeah, see, that's what happens usually when you DPS Soul. You get to just do shit, and it's like, oh, I committed to an invincible option that has no risk. Sweet. Oh, the dust actually whiffed. That's a shame. Super dash? Yeah, super jump instant air dash. Oh, treasure hunt? Stance dash treasure hunt. This is the first one of those we've seen this entire set. Haaken did something that looked scrubby but was actually really smart there. I'm making that Kazunoko Footsies video, and the way that Soul approaches spending meter is something I find really cool. The last time that Haaken ran at Omito like this, he got 2D and it worked. So I think he expected Omito to be a little more proactive. So he did Far S RRC, which is like shit. Like Far S has like no hit stun and block stun, low attack level. But he does this just to close the distance, because he knows that Omito has been like afraid on defense and not sure what to do. So Haaken intentionally spends meter in like a bad way just so he can try to trip Omito up again. And that was like 2D to cover immediate mash, and then Bandit Bringer to cover delayed option. Into more frame traps because he expects Omito to crack. Yeah. It ended up not working out for him in that moment, but spending meter on like bad things is actually a very high level thing to do. Sorry, I was listening to Majin Obama provide some context about the match. He said that Omito traveled from Osaka, which is good, because I didn't know exactly where he was from, but that's a fair ways away. And he also said that these guys had played in a net playset previously, which would have been on probably PS4 delay-based netcode. And Haaken won that, sorry, Omito won that 5-3, which is solid, but not one-sided. Omito did something really smart, actually. Look at this. He sees that Soul is going over his head, and rather than try to air throw, he stands up to block the potential cross-up overhead, and then crouches to block the low, or he stands up to block the overhead and then mashes throw. Unfortunately, Haaken is outside of throw range, even though it doesn't terribly look like it. Oh no, he messed up the Y-hander. So that's what stability looks like for Omito, and when he can do that, it's generally working out pretty well for him. His execution's good enough that he can trust himself. It also does something that I should do more often, which is instead of trying to anti-air Soul above your head, just move out of the way and let him whiff. Now we're going back to the well of doing... Oh, ooh, never mind. I was going to talk about Haaken doing Wake Up Riot Stamp, but that was a beautiful combo from Omito. You hit a combo like that and you feel good about yourself. All around, look at that. Omito gets this combo, sets up the coins. Yeah, OTG to upgrade level 3. 5k, what was that? Jump K, 5k, far S, 6H, K Mistfinder. No. That's P, that's S Mistfinder. 5H, coin. This is like, this is why I really can't hate Johnny that much. Like, his combos are genuinely just really, really cool. And he does all of this outside of burst range so that it's all completely burst safe. And then ERC is just the kill. Damn, Omito can actually block Riot Stomp in the corner. I can never do that. It's true. It's true. I will say, as much as I have to give Omito credit for being good at the game, I've noticed that the style of the Japanese in fighting games is to be a little more respectful than they perhaps need to be. So I feel like with Haaken, he's obviously, like, he's winning, right? So, you know, whatever. But I've noticed that if a character is, like, known for having gimmicks, they tend to think it's, like, dishonorable to, like, rely on the gimmicks a lot, even if they're effective. Oh no, oh my god, that was like 4 scrambles in a row. Oh no. Early burst from Omito because he wanted the burst to connect regardless of what Haaken did. He actually got hit in his 2P. Empty. Oh, that was the good knockdown TM. He's Omito is inside of wild throw range here, but Soul is outside of throw range, I think. I'm pretty sure this is the good knockdown that Soul players want to root into. Doing nothing is a very powerful option in the first to 10. This is something that came up actually like years ago when Daigo and Tokido played in Street Fighter V. And Daigo, he beat Tokido like 10-3 or something, and Tokido actually fucking cried because he'd been beaten so badly. Part of the reason why Daigo won so much is that he was the aggressor in the matchup. I think he played... I forget who he played, but he was like the aggressor, and Tokido was playing Urian. And doing nothing is a very powerful option for the aggressor because it makes the defender in the matchup, the control character, second guess himself, because you feel like pressured to take advantage of the fact that the beatdown is doing nothing. Nice FD on the way down from Omito. Very good. He avoided... Okay, yeah. He avoided dying to an anti-air, but sadly, it kind of evaporated after that. Speaking of Daigo, have you ever watched the Daigo match here? There's a Daigo versus Ogawa match from early in Guilty Gear Xrd, from Sign, I think, which I have queued up, which I will get to. And but no, I haven't watched any Daigo Daigo Guilty Gear games here. One thing I should do after this is go through the top 8 for Guilty Gear XX/ at EVO, which I think was 2004 or 2005, because Daigo made top 8 in that, and I think he might have won it actually. And it's fascinating to see how similar the games are, and how a lot of the momentum and the way that people spend meter is very similar. Daigo's also really cool because you can tell he was doing a DP RRC before Street Fighter. Made it cool to have plus on block invincible moves. Yeah, stand stash treasure hunt, that's cool. Pick up with the 2K, that's nice. See, that's something that I do miss about this game compared to like Street Fighter 6 or just Street Fighter in general. It's so much easier to juggle stuff in this game that you can be a lot more flexible with it, and it feels really nice to do that. Oh, chip damage. Whereas in like Street Fighter, if you can't juggle, you just can't juggle because the magical juggle meter has been used up and you aren't allowed to keep going. Yeah, counter hit sweep. I always thought that was really funny, or really fun, that you can combo off of sweep like it's a launcher in this game. Because like if you actually do get swept in martial arts, you tumble into the air and then you fall on the ground. So it's like, it's pretty... I can understand the logic of it, right? Like, it's cool. Haaken jumping 3 times, and then Omito's like, well, great, I guess I'll jump. Yep. Incredible discipline on Omito's part. And this hits? Yeah, nice. And you're dead, actually. Okay. Omito closing the gap. Also, the as much as I hate Johnny's wake up super because it's stupid, the input that Omito had to do there in order to actually get that to come out after an instant block was really precise and finicky. And I think it's cool for there to be stuff like that in the game to sort of put a check on powerful super moves. As people have talked about motion inputs and their disappearance from modern fighting games, there's been this a sort of oversimplification of how motion inputs are used, where a lot of people who are describing it will simply say that motion inputs allow moves to be powerful because they can be used as defensive or as a balance mechanics. And that's true on a surface level, but like putting a motion input into your opponent's block string makes it significantly more difficult to survive the block string. What the fuck? Okay, that was pure Guilty Gear. What the fuck happens here? So DP knockdown. Haaken does cancel bandit revolver. That must have been a misinput, right? He must have like slid his like air. Well, it would have been jump K, and he hasn't been doing air dash strings with jump K, so I think this might have been intentional. But I don't know what it would accomplish. I guess it would beat. I don't know. And then Omito gets a punish. Haaken immediately bursts, which is sort of like a panic idiot burst, and then he's immediately ready to throw the tech. This is another thing that you need to insulate yourself to when you play Guilty Gear. Shit just happens, and you just have to believe. And the fact that you got punished on your misinput does not mean that it was like a bad idea for you to do that. It just means that there's another thing you have to be ready for. Oh, he's alive? Yeah, chip damage. Nice. Yeah, Johnny kind of has a DP too, it's funny. Yeah. Oh, yeah, okay, there we go. That's gonna hit, and you're gonna die for that. You know, even, like, it's incredible on Haaken's part that even as Omito is, like, clawing his way back into this, he still has to make, like, educated decisions and educated reads in order to survive in the scramble. I'm going to try to go through the remaining games more quickly and not have as much downtime. So this is Omito's like second or third game winning in a row? No, this is a third game winning actually. He was at 7-3 and now he's at 7-5. No, that's two. That's two games. Sorry, I'm stupid. You have to understand, I play Sin and Raven, I don't know how to count. Again, more of that beautiful anime footsie game that I love to see. Haaken doing the hard single hit confirms. And again, he's doing these single hit confirms in 6 frames of input lag. I'm kind of surprised that we haven't seen as many air throws from Omito, because it is one of the more reliable ways to deal with Soul like that. Yes, exactly. Unblockable, fuck you. See, when Johnny had to do that in order to combo off of an unblockable, I didn't mind it so much. That was YRC to make sure the unblockable even hits, and then it was RRC to combo off of it. Like, that's fine. That's 75 meter for like a shitty combo at the end of a round. There we are. Omito, he's figured something out. He's not getting in his own head anymore. He's not afraid. That was like 2 commanding games from Omito. Like, very few scrambles there. He did exactly the right thing. Omito's body language has not changed at all. Haaken is considering things. Gonna wait out the clock for another 30 seconds, make us all take all of our time and money. $69 every single time. All right. Oh, pardon me. I should let the round play out. Nerd burst, no punish though. Oh, there's another thing. That's something that you actually don't see too much. The way these guys are playing is that Omito can just do Mistfinder and it will go through a lot of Soul's poke. Or like it'll go through Gunflame and then it'll keep going and hit Soul. And the way that Haaken has been abusing Gunflame sort of avoids that because he's been using it as like an unfuckwithable frame trap up close, as you saw there. Or he's been using it from super duper long range just to occupy space on the ground and prevent Omito from going in. Like that, right? Like, if Omito was looking for the Gunflame there, he could have just Mistfindered through it. But I think he's trying to move over it and, like, move around. Nice. Usman, you think Soul is hurt in longer sets like these because he's more linear? I don't think that Soul is a linear character, so... No, I don't think he struggles. Like, the thing is, it's... In the sense of, like... If you looked at... Oh, for fuck. Oh my god, sorry, hang on. Sorry, some shit's happening. We're living in dangerous times. Okay. What I was trying to say is that... Oh, a black beat? You died on a black beat, Haaken? Okay, sorry, Visman, you asked. I think Soul can do anything. I don't think he's like a linear character in general, because he's like... He can have really good frame traps, he's got good normals to control space, he's got good movement, he's got fucked up hitbox contortion, which is actually the secret best mechanic in Guilty Gear. He's got a command grab, he's got high-lows, he's got left-rights. So I don't think he's linear in a design sense, and I think if you're willing to engage with all the stuff that Soul can do as a character, then you can always find something to do. Nice. Entry in 5021. If you can pick up on the habits of your opponent as you are playing Soul, Soul is easily an S+ character for first to 10s. And Michael Pol agrees. He goes better the longer it gets because he's straightforward. Yeah, I think I generally agree with that. He's not like hampered by a resource system or anything, and his Oki is very unpredictable, very staccato. What was he expecting with that riot snipe he did in the corner? That's a good question. Let's go back. That was 2 on 4K? That is a good question, actually. Let me go back and play that on lower speed. So he gets into the... He gets put down. Okay, come on. Okay. So if he blocks the jump in here, DP RRC, 2P, 2D, 214. That is weird. I don't know. I don't know if there was a particular thing he was targeting. Yeah, I don't know. He might have been trying to like cancel into it and he delayed his cancel so it came out at the end on whiff, but I'm not sure. See, when Haaken plays patiently, things work out for him. The reason why he's been losing these games in a row is because he's just been... It feels like he's been going in a little more aggressively and he's lost some of the nuance that he's had in the earlier games. And Omito is just playing that good old stable Johnny. Alright, so we're playing a first to 3 now. How's your ability to play a first to 3 after playing a first to 7? Oh, trades. Okay. A few hits of unskilled damage here. Lots of damage off the command grab. Yeah. This is like the textbook Soul round. Yeah, he went for 2D because he could have comboed into double super. Yeah, I like that about Haaken, because he does the option that will win him the game if he gets it, but he doesn't like hard commit to it and just like spend meter anyway. It's very unusual to see somebody with that much discipline on hit confirming in Guilty Gear, or in anime games in general. People just love sending shit. And I'm one of them. I love sending shit. I fucking hate hit confirming. Yeah, instant block air throw. Nice. Yeah. And you're just dead. Oh no, he goes to the unblockable. Makes sense. That's fine. Don't you dare. So that, see, when the Omito, when the Johnny unblockable just enforces a mind game or enforces a panic response, it's not too bad. In the current version of the game, he just would have like, it's so much more fucked up in the current version of the game. It's really dumb. Wow. Nice burst take from Omito, by the way. I don't think that was an option select. I think he just jumped up and took it. Why did this how did this happen? Oh, that's fascinating. Haaken actually mashed on the DP so fast here that he got the red X of shame like a frame before the DP made contact, and then it made contact, and he got the red RC. And he takes the burst. And that was a read on the burst. A soft read, but a read nonetheless. This is a safe jump? Oh, DP, fuck you, yeah. Nice. Fucking nice. That was an empty jump, I believe, and then he saw the Super Flash startup and input Volcanic Viper. God bless Guilty Gear. I love this game. I said it before, but I'm really, really happy that I'm watching this happen, because this is reinvigorating my love for the game after the disastrous net play session I had last night. When rounds start like this, I think Haaken tends to win them. Yeah, that's a beautiful little thing about freeform Gatlings. I've been thinking about Gatlings and stuff lately. Look at this. So he gets the hit here, and he goes for 2P, which is burst safe, mostly. And then he does 2H. And because of the freeform Gatling nature, he's able to do this, and it's like he can inject a little bit of burst safety. But if he didn't want to do this, he could have just done run up 5H, 2H, which would have been effectively the same thing. And it would have just been a little bit more damage. Yeah, oh, Majin Obama pointing that out immediately. Bismond, I love a good soul until I have to fight one. Yes. Very true. Very true. Haaken delayed the HDP there. He was trying to go through the burst completely. But Omito delayed the burst even more. Oh, that's a funny thing that Soul can do. When he goes, if he's willing to commit to the air dash really high above your head here, because Jump H has nonsense frame data, he can do an air dash, Jump H, B plus on block, and then still do a descending block string. Nice. Holy fuck, what a read. Wake up low blitz. Omito, you're crazy. Oh no. Oh god, fuck. Oh shit. Okay. Panic everywhere. Reverse hit? How the fuck does any of that work? Yeah, Omito with discipline to hang on to the burst. Haaken keeping his combo burst safe. So burst safe, he actually drops it. And Omito has a brief chance at life before he runs into a button. Game point. Game point for Haaken. Sorry, set point for Haaken. Omito definitely within spitting distance of the podium, though. This is another fucking thing about this game. Even anti-airing the correct way is unreliable. Because you saw Johnny 6P clash with Soul Jump B here. The Soul's hurt box retracts up into his body. So it's not just about picking the button, but you also have to be ready for all the different cases that happen if the button doesn't work. Something I was surprised to learn about Soul in this game is that he has Jump P, Jump H as a Gatling, but he doesn't have that in Plus R. It's like a weird buff that he got that's like actually really meaningful, but it's less pronounced than you would think. Nice. Jump H also shrinks Soul's hurt box, but not as much as Jump B. Yes. Actually, like, all of Soul's normals shrink his hurt box, but Jump P's like the poster boy, because it's like it's nonsense looking at it. Oh, trade with coin, but that doesn't even matter. Oh, man. You have to burst here. You have to burst here. Never mind, you're just going to die. Have you seen the first to 10 between Mochi and Omito as well? I think I may have. Oh, man. I've definitely seen those two play. Yes, I have seen those two play, but it's been a while. And I don't have the link anymore. If you find the title of that video, or if you leave like a truncated link in the comment or post it here, I'll make a point of looking at it and saving it. Oh my god. Okay, good burst from Omito. He got the hit. Coin's doing work. Take his burst. Take his soul. And this is your opportunity to run all the pressure. Don't psych yourself out about it. Oh, 5k reset into a grab. That's crazy. Mom said it's my turn to do Oki. Cool. Man. All right. Another potential set point for Haaken. Delayed burst. Oh man. Okay, yeah, that worked out really well. Oh my god, Omito just throwing away level 3 Mistfinder? He must have been reading an anti-air, or reading an air approach. Oh, 2 Fafnirs. Oh, this is gonna do so much fucking damage. Close slash, yeah. And that, yeah. So that, oh god, the angle of that combo is really weird. I hate that. I hate that. I hate it when you try to make an informed, dedicated defensive decision and the other guy's just like, yeah, I'll do walk-up throw, I earned it. Okay. My god. Oh, sorry, if one of you posted a link, it did not go through. I'm sorry, I missed that entire combo. Hang on, sorry. Hold the thought on the Mochi versus Omito set. I promise I will look into that. But I really want to focus here. Oh, raw hit Gunflame. Yeah, Gunflame has no scaling on it. So much damage. So much meter gain. Yeah, Omito might not have a chance to burst if he gets hit the wrong way here. So he's being defensive. You have to burst on this? Never mind. Oh my god. I'm astonished that burst connected. Oh my god. With a jump K moving in the opposite direction. My heart was in my throat that entire time. God, what a set. Yeah, Gaster, I see that you... Yeah, so for messages in my live chat, I have none. And for some reason, the links are still not working. If you try posting just the /watch URL, or like the string at the end of /watch, I might be able to see that. Anyway, yeah, that was an awesome set. I was really happy to see that. By the way, you can only post links on YouTube chat if you have mod status. Really? Okay. Gaster, I will make you a mod for 30 seconds. Okay, you're a mod. Post a link. It's the first vid that shows up when you look up Mochi versus Omito. 728 labeled as a special set. Ah, I see. Ah, yes. Okay, I see it now. Perfect. I looked it up. I see it. The GG Xrd Rev 2 version 2.1 728 special match Joe versus So. Yeah, cool. That'll be a good one too. Beautiful. Okay. You're not a mod anymore, Gaster. You betrayed me. You didn't actually betray me. Well. Oh my god, 16 concurrent viewers. That's the new record. 16 concurrent viewers. And we just got there at the very end of this. Whoever just showed up now, thank you very much. Yeah, so that was the set. That was an amazing set. That was a beautiful display of Guilty Gear. Anytime somebody asks you what anime footsies look like, show them any, like, 1-minute clip from that set, and you'll have a very good idea of what anime footsies look like. It's also a great example of how a high-power, high-speed, high APM game can still have a lot of really rich, nuanced defense. There is a perception, as mix-ups have become more real in modern games, that mix-up heavy older games are just more of the same, except like projected backwards in time. And that's not true. You can see almost every interaction in this had some kind of thing that Omito was doing wrong to get counter hit, or some kind of thing that he did to escape. And the same was true for Haaken, very interactive. Tome versus Hase. Oh, like Tomo versus Hase?
He's like, man, that's a special match for him. He didn't want to commentate, he just wanted to watch.
Homo, Leo, is that the one from 812? Mikado Mix Volume 13? That's the one that came up when I went when looking for Tomo versus Hase. Lisbon, did America ever do first to 10 exhibitions like this? No, sadly. Although for a while we did have, I think it was called Tension Pulse, and I think M. De Silva ran it. Yeah, those were first to sevens, which are not quite the same, but they managed to have two bills on every fight. Oh yeah, there was that like first to 10 player thing. I've seen that happen in Plus R. Actually, no, sorry, I'm thinking of the 25v25 character crew battle in Plus R, which is a little bit different. Right. So they're just so the guy. Anyway, back to the event. Those guys were just explaining how the tournament seeding works, and they were just saying that based on the preliminary stuff, that has seeded them into like the final bracket. So that affects who's gonna be in the upper and who's gonna be in the lower bracket. Anyway, that is the end of it. That was a beautiful set. I love Guilty Gear. I love talking with you guys. I love being here. What about the Nico Nico first to 5 event in 2017? Sure. Okay. Leave a comment on the live stream video. And if you just post the titles of the videos, they should hopefully not get hit by spam filters. Vincent, do I understand Japanese? I do not. I do not understand Japanese. I understand like 4 words of Japanese. When are you going to try playing with viewers again? I could do that next week. I could do that. Yeah, I don't know. I would say do it now, but like I have a couple of other things that I do actually need to do. I would like to do it again at some point, though. It was fun. But for now, I just have work that I need to get to. Both real work and personal work for fun. So that'll be the end of it. I'll call it a day here. Thank you all for tuning in. Thank you all for giving me your continued attention. I love being here, and I love talking about this game, and I love sharing it with you. Yeah, next time we will be looking at Johnny versus Zato. Yeah, next time we'll be looking at Johnny versus Zato, which is going to be Omito versus Ogawa, and that one's going to be good. Take care. See you next week.